Coronado Yacht Club Luffin Regatta. Luffin regattas are participation based. They're very low key, low pressure. Lasers start first. They're using a 29er flag for lasers. And kind of a development fleet, obviously. Several of these kids will be in laser 4s, ILCA 4s in March at the Midwinters West. But we put them in radials here in Southern California just because 4s are a little too light for, we want to push them beyond their limit. We do have Luca here in his first laser regatta, I believe, Orange Boat. He's over by a little. No problem. Great. Not sure, but at 1 minute, I think I'm seeing tiny whitecaps. My forecast is no more than 11 knots today from this direction, which is about I'm gonna guess is a 245 direction. I'll check that in a little bit. So those lasers had a general recall. One of the rules for our team this weekend for Sabots is when any fleet has a general recall, the rest of us go upwind for a second and speed test for like 30 seconds to a minute and just race for a second. I do think it's an I flag in effect. In the Orange Boat, sail number 8, is doing a better job of hanging back this time, but maybe a fraction too far back. Probably would want to be where 11111. Oh, look at him. There he goes. Oh, he's going to be over. Do they not call people? Oh, good. Luca, Orange Boat. Oh my God. I wasn't watching my camera. I hope I got that on tape. Okay, A fleet starts next. No, A through C1. It's really neat. Luffins put the A, B, and C1 fleets all together. And Luca's wrapping the main sheet around his hand. What that means is that's the signal, put more bang on. He's having a real hard time holding his main sheet. So that's the cue for pulling more boom bang. Boom bang takes pressure off your main sheet so that you can hold it. Here's Vesper. Still a Sabot racer, but transitioning into we sail the ILCA 6, and then she'll be racing ILCA 4s against the rest of the Southern California kids. But she's doing a good job of just keeping your shoulders out, keeping your hands up by her waist, at least, and not moving very much, just kind of locked in. I bet you she has weather helm right now, so she, believe it or not, she could just flatten the sail a tiny bit and then hike a tiny bit harder so that she had neutral helm, absolutely neutral. Cool, that looks really outstanding. Here we go. We have overall team goals for every fleet. Today is lasers and Sabots. Tomorrow is C420s, FJs, 29ers, and open skiffs. Everybody has different goals. Okay. Speed testing before the race, boat speed between races after general recalls. Also, changing modes on the telltales while we're practicing. Squeezing up a little and seeing the windward telltale move. Pressing down and seeing the leeward telltale wiggle a little. In our speed testing, we do that a little to feel the power changes. We are avoiding fouls this weekend. Do your penalty turn if you do know you fouled. Have a line sight, and then best races at the end of the day. And then specifically for Sabots, front row, high risk starts, close hauled, sailing the lifts, and staying on the wind around all the way through the windward mark and through the finish line. Now the current, you can see the water right in there. I'm getting sucked into the current. The current's going that way towards the bridge a little. It's ebbing right now. Being 8752 is not smart right now. The door's gonna close on that. This is the Sabot A fleet. If you want to get good, again, this is a low pressure event, but if you want to get good, this is where you get good. And the reason is because the boat's difficult to sail and it's very adjustable. It's very sensitive to main sheet tension, very sensitive to outhaul setting, very sensitive to the leeboard setting. You get the leeboard too far back. Sabot A fleet. This is A through C1 actually. You can see the water moving here, and it's actually pushing them off the line. It's not pushing them into the committee boat, actually. I don't think. I think it's pushing me. You can see me moving on the bridge. See how the land is changing there? So this is making starting easier. We have a ton of kids in this fleet. They're off the line. Again, a mix of A through C1s. And so you get C1s, if they beat some A fleeters or B fleeters, they get really jazzed. There's Coach Wallace right there. You'll see his main sheet changes very little. See how his main's pretty tight. It's got the wrinkle in the main. He pulls it till he gets that wrinkle in the main. Little Cunningham on, and then he just barely eases it, and then pulls it back in. Barely eases it. You can't see his head right now, but he's looking up towards the lasers right now. And Celeste out there, 10286. Theo, 10392. It's interesting. They have the best speed test go before. There's Steven right there, 10208. They have the best speed testing going on before so they got each other up to speed really well. Theo could just hike harder in the puffs. 10392 could just be gone right now if you just hike the puffs instead of squeezing. Race 1, Sabot. Fenton in the blue, Theo in the teal. Ronan, these guys are called the Three Amigos, man. From sea urchins to beginner Sabots to intermediate Sabots to learn to race Sabots to A fleet. Current going that way. Current's ebbing, going towards the bridge, so you need to understand the mark. Yeah. See these guys right here? Ronan shouldn't even worry right there. Gray boat. He's the best hiker we got. He's the most steady hiker. And he'll work on playing his main sheet a little, just perfectly keeping the boat just pretty much perfect. He's very light, so he can just play the main in and out really tiny amounts and just keep his body steady. And he just flies upwind. It just gets flow over the boards, but you can see how everybody's going to be overstanding with the ebbing tide. And there's Fenton crabbing into the, no, he should be crabbing to the right of the gates right now. So we're probably, you know, when you learn about current and things, you probably will not jive on this run. The current is going that way, so it's going to crab you. You know, you have to stay a little to the right of the gates. You have to aim to the right of the gates a little in order to go straight at the gate buoy. So no one will be getting onto port here. Now, as we're going downwind, we're looking at the lasers. Do we think it's a righty or a lefty? Everybody's on port tack. I look at the flag. That looks like it's going from the bridge more. So what does that mean? That would mean you would be rounding the left gate down there, is my guess. And looks like Vesper in second, Santiago in first. And that's probably going to be the day. That's going to be the battle. Those are the two best kind of Sabot A fleeters now that are getting more time in lasers. But again, Santiago is going to make the pin because the current's going out that way. It's lifting him up. If I were going to start a race right now, I would start at the boat end. So that answers your question. Finish at this end. This end is further downwind. Ooh, is this Luciana coming through here in fifth? It is. Luciana, nice. You're doing a good job on that. Coach Wallace for you, man. 12-year-old. Okay, again, if you're gonna start the race right now, look at their angle, right? They would start over here. So where do we finish? We should have finished over there, right at the pin. Laser's about to start race 2. It's not smart to be barging in an ebbing tide here. Looks like Luciana's in trouble. She's gotta be over. You gotta... And you look back, the X flag is up. That means somebody was over. And Luca in the orange boat, we got a lot more bang this race. One of the things about laser sailing is the more pressure you have on the main sheet, the more you can reduce that pressure by putting the vang on. So it's a feel thing. Over time, you build a feel up in your hand about how much pressure in the main sheet is fast. And there's times where there's almost no pressure on the main sheet, it's all on the vang. So she's got a light spot right now. Vesper doing well. She came off the line in the last race, recognized that she was a little lifted, she stayed there, and then she got a little header and she bit on it and went. Watch this, she's not gonna bite on it this time. She got burned on the left, so she's gonna eat this header, and she's just gonna keep eating it longer. Was that 10208 or something? 21008 or something? 21008, was that the one? Ah, bueno, yeah. Thank you, brother. Yep. So she's just gonna keep going a little longer than she did last time. You see how she came out of the tack? She immediately looked up here, and you know what she was looking for? She's hoping she's got enough wind. She's hoping she didn't tack shy of the wind. Race 2 on Saturday. The lasers are coming downwind, and they probably, I mean, she might want to go on port tack and go by the lead. Remember, the current now is going that way, and so she's getting moved to the left of the gates at all times right now. Flat water, it's okay to sail a broad reach. A through C1 fleet. The biggest thing we learned from the last race is stay on starboard all the way downwind. Not by the lead, dead downwind pretty much. Grab into the current a little. We learned to not barge. We learned that we got to understand the mark. Do not overstand the mark. If you tack below the ley line of the windward mark, you will get lifted. The current will sweep you up into it. The kids are not good at judging where the line is. They need to use a line set. You're going to see that a lot of these kids are very far off the line. And it's a very inefficient boat. So if you're 5 feet off the line, it's more like you're 10 feet off. Theo, 10208 Steven. Now you have to remember the sound signal took a second to get to us, right? Or maybe a second and a half. So Steven, 10208 might have looked over there, but you've got to remember the sound signal has traveled L9559. Great start, lifted on starboard, just gonna hang. And it's a Whitecaps, everybody. That's 11 knot puff right there. Beautiful. South Bay, man, the best. A lot of these kids will be in 420s and 29ers racing out here in their very near futures. In the next couple of years, some of them are already in 29ers, a couple of these kids. 10389, very tight sail, plays it very little. Poppy, we got Poppy's sail set up. First C1 regatta, second C1 regatta probably for her. I think she's 9. She might, yeah, I think she's 9. Getting to race against A-fleeters. That's the coolest thing. Elizabeth right here, first C1 regatta. Oh my goodness, look at that pop. You see that thing? You see that? Watch this. Watch Poppy. She's just gonna just be on her ear. 3, 2, 1. We did talk to her about just hiking a little harder than she feels comfortable with. Oh, look at L, 9559. Look at Brendan, 10145. No, that's Kellen. We talked about just hiking a little harder than he's comfortable with. That's his second C1 regatta. Awesome. Vesper leading the laser race by a mile. These guys look good. Santiago's got a lot of power. See how the boat's kind of a little squirrely? He just put a little vang on because it was a little too squirrely. Squirrely's good now. You can't set the boat up to intentionally rock, but you want the boat to be kind of squirrely. More power is always good off the wind. Upwind, more power is not always good because you can stall the boards and go sideways, but downwind, more power is always good as long as you're in your wind. So she looks headed compared to the gate. She is not pointing way high on port, so the left gate is better than the right gate, guaranteed. These guys are going to be coming up right at me. These guys are, so if this was a start line, I would be starting at that one. Watch this guy. Santiago's going to be pointed.
I think he's C1.
Way. He's still coming up. Yeah?
10393.
I definitely think I would be starting at that one if it was a start line. So that's, I think they went to the wrong. Now, sometimes angles where you're sitting on the course can affect you. But look at him and look at her, and I think you would agree that he gained. So she either sailed into a bad shift in light air, or that other gate was better. I still think her gate was better, but I think she got off in the lighter wind. And now she learned her lesson. Yes, he is much closer. So really it's a race to the left. I thought today was going to be more one side pay most of the time, but not all the time. Right now, yeah, the left's paying almost all the time. Now you can kind of see the inexperience of the A through C1s. That's why we're in Sabot, right? This is where we learn. But not one boat came in from the left. You can gain by coming in from the left because all of these boats are overstood. All of these boats should be reaching way lower because they're making the mark really easy. Uh-oh, Steven. He's on Saturday. This time, Luca, number 8, and Luciana, 210108. Are not as punched out as they were last time. Nice recovery. That was just great. Yeah, Luca and Luciana were just punched out too far at 30 seconds on the last one. You know, sometimes you get your bow way out at 30 seconds and the race committee sees you, and then even if you're not over, they'll call you because they remember you kind of. And if you're close at all, they're going to call you. Yeah, Lucas just got to get that bang on. He's just got to get that bang on. There's, Vesper didn't have as good a start. Neither side has been really favored at all. The whole thing has just been boat speed. And in laser class, it's all about who can get their main in the right place and who can hike the hard. See how he rocked right there? Obviously, it's hard to hike, but you don't want to rock at all. You want to get the flow over the boards and just rip it. Waterline length. Get the waterline in the water and rip it. Here we go, Luca. This might be his first laser regatta ever. I think it is. It's great. He's been sailing lasers for about 3 months. Vesper tapped back again because I think she was worried about light air. She learned in the first race that there's just light air. There's the cone off of the amphibia. She doesn't know this. I do because I grew up right there. That's where I grew up. Right in that little naval housing right there. There's a cone of light wind that comes off this edge of the naval amphibious base over here. So she came over here to try to get more wind. And look at him, he's fully hiking and she's not. Where he was, so yeah. A little red tide over here. Look like the wind has gone a little right. Vesper's over there just footing into the righty. So I think she's gained back just a little ways. We'll see. 30 seconds for the A through C1. I'm really proud of these kids. The key to this racing in the Sabots is trying not to feather hardly at all upwind. as the puff hits, lean your shoulders out. Maybe burp the mane an inch and a half. And then squeeze it in a little. Nice start, Jack. 101.16. Fenton right at the boat. The wind is further to the left. Oh, it's getting windy here. This is nice. This is a 10 knot puff coming through here. Windy, I'm sorry. It's a San Diego 20 over here. It's not windy, but there's a few waves in there too. But yeah, it's just a good 10 knot puff. Okay, we'll watch Elle here, 9559. Whoa, she almost fell out of the boat. Today she's turned into one of our best hikers. This is our best hiker right here, 103.88. The thing is you can't rock a Sabot upwind at all because it just, you lose all the flow on the board. You get the board right at a certain depth and you try to get water flowing over it and you just try to hold it there. All right, beautiful day.
Practice regatta.
And there's Coach Wallace, shy ley line. Let's see if he makes it. The wind has been a little further left this beat than the other ones, but I think he's gonna make it. 103.89, he's right on a shy ley line. And let's see if he makes it. This is great practice, see? We've worked on, you have to know current and you have to use the trends of current and you have to start practicing them. He went shy ley line to see if he could just slowly squeeze and make the mark. This is the biggest tide of the year today. Yeah, look, watch, he's making it, dude. See this guy's way out here? They overstood by like 10 boat lengths. Look at him, he made it, dude. That's no good. We talked about that. Shy ley lines and an ebbing current in South Bay. Interesting, these leaders in the radial came around this one. She came around the other one. She was not close to first. She is now, that boat there, Vesper, is now very close to second. Oh, he's getting a little header here, so he's gonna.
That was
probably is not as good as we thought, but I think there's something about, there's a little more pressure up in this area most of the time. That looks good, and then Luciana right here, having a good race. She needs more bang. See how they just have the boom too far out. So her sails is gonna be too full, and that's gonna be really bad. Wow, Vesper should be looking at that laser there, and she should be squeezing right on the wind. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. These boats look lifted, so maybe she's just between winds here. Right here, light air. But if you look up there, it looks dark. The cone. So this is, there's a little wind funneling down over here. This might be the windiest part of the day right now. And so she's probably going to start eating this boat up a little bit. Yeah, she's already right with her. Oh, she's crossing her already. Nope, she let her cross. That was a really smart move. Really smart move. Just don't get mixed up now. If you gain this much, just go ahead and just keep going. Santiago's sailing a great race, but this is the windiest part of the day right here. And earlier, this was in the cone. It's a cone is a triangle that comes off of here in kind of a westerly wind. I'm looking almost straight west right now. Just off like a little to the right. Look at her. That looks really good. Now nice and stable. Not rocking. If it was choppy, she'd be moving her body kind of a few inches fore and aft, 6, 7, 8 inches fore and aft, and she'd also be bouncing, you know, a little bit out hard in the big pumps. And she'd be steering to make it so she doesn't hit the wave too square. But right now it's about getting flow over the boards, just hanging your head out there, hanging off the main sheet. You're trying to spread the load between your legs and your forearm and your wrist and your hand, your grip, and you're trying to hang off the main sheet a little. And you're trying to go to your happy place. You know, you gotta keep believing it's gonna be over soon. Beautiful day. The three amigos and Celeste are just gonna learn so much practicing out here against each other. in on that. I've let her go 3 races now. I'm going to talk to her now and see what she thinks, where we think we're going to find a little more. I have an inkling they're just a fraction faster. Now you got this big boat coming through. It's not going to matter today, but you're going to see these guys lose the wind. So when is it going to happen? I'm going to say it's about 30 seconds away. Ronan is going to have his sail go inside out. Right about now, let's see if he dies out at all. Okay, here we are, 3 amigos coming in. What they do better is you can see Fenton can keep his boom inside the corner. And he's so patient in how he's steering, and he's so steady in how he's steering. You'll see his sail muscle. See, he's going shy lay line again. Shy lay line, watch this. He's just gonna get lifted up slow with the current. He just pinches along and the current just carries him up. Yep. Yep. So we are gonna have everybody copy. Leeward forward like that's a little risky for a C1 and they're lightweight. But we're gonna make sure everybody's got their leeward forward like him. Make sure their outhaul's only not even a half a hand away from the boom. He already left the outhaul. Upwind, he's got the outhall pretty damn tight. These guys got the outhauls tight. Yeah, they're gonna make the mark easily. Well, she should be going right there. Oh, he stopped bailing. The way he bails is really good. He scoops back towards himself. Back towards yourself. Yep. Yep. Exactly right. You just do it nice and slow, and then if the boat starts to rock, get 2 wiggles, you got to pull the main in a little, right? He's not going to worry about it, but kids back here, look at 101.45, man. He's holding on for dear life. He's actually switched sides sitting the leeward because he's fine. But he weighs 101.45 weighs, I don't even know, 58 pounds? It's hard to sail these little boats in 11 knots of wind. It's like sailing another boat in 15 for a 58 pounder. I still think I'm going, I don't know. I think the gates are perfectly square actually. Nice, see how he doesn't roll tack very much? Little heel to leeward, barely heel to leeward, barely heel to leeward. She's having a pinch already, yeah. So she could go more Cunningham. She could go ahead and just put more Cunningham on. She's already feathering. So if that windward telltale's going, it just means more Vang, more Traveler, more Vang, more Cunningham. And you don't need to put more outhaul usually because the Vang and the Cunningham kind of put the outhaul on for you. She's wiggling the leeward telltale a little. There we go. Jump. Don't need to roll tack. You just come out, keep flow on the boards. Don't need to roll tack. You just go straight into full 1 degree below close hauled full hike. Wow, she gained again. This gate gained. I would do nothing but round this gate. Everybody who goes to this gate always gains on the leader. Yeah, look at this. It's about 11, 12 knots. It's definitely at least 12, right at 8577 in that. Okay, so we're guessing righty or lefty. I'm guessing lefty, so I'm going to this gate right here. Not that one. Here's L doing very well. Luca coming in, Luciana coming in. Nice rounding by L. The roundings are easy today because of the current. Yeah, look at that. Here comes Brendan. He just was under trimmed on his mainsail downwind. Downwind, you got to over trim on these boats. It's kind of like a laser at times, so you don't death roll. Sabot is a death rolling, furling machine. And we'll go bow under really quick. Or Luffin, Coronado Yacht Club. Yeah, we already put Luca's Vang on. He just can't keep his main in. So we just put his Vang on before the start. And the only problem with that is it makes it hard to slow your boat down. in the pre-start because it wants to make the boat head up. The tight beach makes the boat head up. He's just got to trim. And then the other problem with it is the boom's much lower. So if you get a big wind shift or something, your boom is really solid being pulled, and then the wind shifts big time. The boom can swing in and whack you on the head because the boom's lower. Oh, look at him. He's already tighter. I guarantee you. The only thing he's not doing. The only thing he's not doing is the hiking we worked on before this race. The good news is he's going to the favored left side. I am certain that this left side's going to work. He's already faster. Look at him. Look how balanced the boat is now. The problem with the loose bang is the mainsail's too full, and then you ease the main sheet and the sail gets fuller. So you get more power, you can't hold your main sheet, then you can't steer well, and the boat tips over, and you have more drag because the sail stretches. So look how steady he looks now. He's footing a touch too much, but look how steady the boat is. Oh, he has this monster puff coming right now.
Copy that, thanks for the eyes.
Interesting brown. That's not red tide. That's the currents causing that. A depth change. It gets shallower there, so the current is stirring up some mud. Current is weaker now for sure. A through C1 fleet. Again, at the Luff ends, they get to sail against each other, the 3 levels. So you might have an 8 or 9-year-old in here somewhere. Probably the youngest is 9, and the oldest right now is probably only 13. So it's not as risky to be at the committee boat end because the current's not pushing them into the committee boat as much. Here's the brother-sisters. 8577-10275 brother-sister combo. $8910. Hey, that was a pretty darn good start. She might look like boat end favored. It might look boat end favored, but I would just stay. The left's been good. You just watch any video on YouTube, like Olympic class and stuff. You'll see some really good sailors do that move right there. You can't just be a pin boat person all the time, the pin end person all the time, but shoot. She's just charging and it looks windy. There we go. Look at Madeline hiking, a lot of twist. She's no biggin', that's for sure. There's Celeste, 10286. There's Ben again. See how steady he is? He just practices all the time, trimming inside the corner. Wait, he puts it to the corner, trims, lets it to the corner, trims, and then once he feels the boat moving, then he'll hold it for a little while. So, but if he's slow, you'll see him. He'll pull it inside the corner and then he'll burp it out just a little every once in a while, and then he'll pull it in a little, and he's just feeling the boat along the way. They look very similar on twist. She's got a little more twist than him. She goes a little higher than him, believe it or not. So he ends up going better over the ground than she does, but she points higher initially. So this is good for her. She's going to learn how to ride the balance between going too high and just right on the best speed angle. There we go. See how he goes? He doesn't roll a ton. There's first right here. There's number 8 right there. Number 8 is right there. Look at him. He's beating 3 boats already. And then where is... I think she's back there, unfortunately. There you go. Get the bang right. He's going to be a happy boy. Get the bang right. And we'll be good. Okay, here goes the A, B, C1s. 9559. So he's a big gainer on the left. She's just steered perfectly on starboard tack. And here's all the boats coming in from the right. This is the youngest sailor in the fleet right here, Puppy. Look at it. Yeah, he wants it, man. He's trying hard. That's a good thing. These guys these folks all following each other out here. That's Vesper right there. She's in third. She's got it locked in by the lee there, so that's a good gainer. Your goal going into gates, more so in big fleets, because everybody slows down to make room for each other down there, so you really fly the boat down into the gates to get close back, you know, knock a 30-second deficit down to 20 or 18 or something. And then I definitely go to that right gate. And the leaders are smart this time. But wow, she's closer than I thought she was. I thought they were further ahead than that. And then here come the Sabots right here. Current is no big deal on the current. I have to assume the brown water means it was going out stronger at the weather mark than at the start line. It's the only reason why I see this brown streaky water in here. But we have been having red tides also. Wow, Clara Stewart 101.53 doing good. 103.96 having her best rate of Clara Hannum. Here's L 9559. Oh, Sammy 10069. So you got some C1s. You got a B. You got 2 Bs and a C1 mixed in the top 8. There's Madeline Parrish 8910. Another C1. You got Jack, a B fleeter. Oh, Kellen 8115. So what we worked on with those kids is making sure they're getting their mainsail in the right place. Not too tight, not too loose. And then just hiking more than feathering. Feathering only in the big pups. Wow, look at this dude, man. This guy's right in there for the first time. Here's Santiago. There's Vesper going over there. She looks slightly lifted to me. And then it's just a game. I tell you, I'd rather be Santiago, but we're gonna see how they come out. I think I'll go back up the court and watch from up there. But she took a chance. Look at Luca. He's keeping his mane in now. He could hike way better. It's pretty windy up here. I don't think she's game. She's out there. She's doing a good job not crossing back through the middle, especially. Did she tack when all the Sabots were going through? Very unlikely that she'd have had much. If I was her, wow, she is lifted. I think she's in second. Look at Santiago had to go underneath here, so I think she called the one time that the right is paying. Like seriously, she's just coming out of there. Could be a little current thing, you know. Now that the current's changing, maybe there's something changing on the race course. But yeah, look at her. She's just solid hiking. Oh, yeah. This is some fun stuff. Yeah, easily has them. If she could, she would go a ½ degree lower. Like if she could handle it physically, she would just be not feathering hardly at all. It'd be a full speed ahead. Don't look anywhere but the water. All you're looking for is where's the wind and what do I think the next shift's gonna be. Okay, so I think San Diego's crossing. Here we go. Yep, he picked a good time to tack, but again, if he feathers, he's losing BMG. So it's just like, hang out there. I know it hurts. Do you see how now she's getting knocked down a little bit? So that's why no feathering on those big lifts. You gotta get to the next header. Yeah, see how she's getting headed? That's okay. She should tack there and just cover from behind. She should just tack right, not now, but she should have tacked and just gone even with him, the same speed and angle for a while, and then she would just accept she's gonna round. Although, look at this lift she just got. She should just be hammering full speed ahead, no feathering at all. The mark is still too far to windward for her to try to do any sort of point towards the mark. Just get it, rip it, hang on the traps. Talk to yourself, I've only got 20 more seconds of full hiking to do, and you just do it. All out, 20 seconds, full. See that? Not a good tack. That's okay, that's what we're here for. Just hang in that last 20 seconds as hard as you can hang. Nice, but she's gained back. She's 10 seconds, 12 seconds closer. Great beat. Luca coming in here, closer to these other boats than he's ever been. Maggie, good sailor right here. He is generally going a little too tiny bit off the wind too much. not keeping the bow right on the wind, and that's what we'll work on the last. See the water on the buoy right now. It's supposed to be low tide. The water is going kind of that way, not straight to the side this way. It's kind of going away from us a little. Here he comes. We got the three amigos with the girls mixed in here. We got Celeste in the orange boat, Clara in the blue boat, and Elle in the black and green boat. So they're really getting close. Lorelei, yellow boat down there. She'll make the mark. Oh, definitely the current is moving out still slightly. Yeah, cool. Oh, Sammy, 10069, right in with some beef leaders. Oh yeah, monster righty. Look at this puff coming down. It goes to show you that weather forecasts are really hard. This was supposed to be the wind direction early, and then it was supposed to march left. They're moving the marks as we speak. That's cool with us in Luff. Look at Luca, dude. Look at that start. Now he just got to get the main in. You see how much bang Al and Cunningham he has. He had a really good race. And then there's Vesper, 194-180. She's putting everything she's got into this. And she is exhausted. Last race of the day, there's a 2-lapper for the lasers. The thing we learned about the lasers is that you got to get the vang right for upwind. So Luca's completely different. I mean, Luca just rounded in 5th again. Right on 4th place's tail. Got to get the vang right upwind. And then that takes the pressure off the main sheet, and it bends the mast and shapes the mainsail. It makes it so you can get your boom closer to the corner. Looking at the lasers, it did not look like a wind shift to me. It looks like the marks are actually straight upwind. I thought the marks were too far to the right. I thought they were moved too far. Now 9559 was very smart there. Do you see what she did? She ducked them and she said protest, and she sailed on. You know, she's not going to go to the room over that. Had that been worse, she'd have go to the room. Good Poppy. Nice work, Poppy. Yeah, Fenton got lucky there that he tacked and Celeste just let him go. Last race of the day. Essentially the best hikers today are the ones who did the best. Ronan had a good day. I think he's 2nd overall. Elle, she's the beef leader still, 10. She's 10. So she still has 2 more under 12 regattas to go. Yeah, look at her. Hiking and steering very slowly. Yeah, Lorelei. Oh, Lorelei, 8577, pinching just a little. If she can ease an inch and reach. Gradient breeze filling in here, northwest gradient. So they're just overpowered, and it's just awesome. They're laying the mark easily. And here's number 8 right here going past those coach boats, just hiking harder like we talked about. First regatta for him. Hiking harder, that's good. And then, yeah, beautiful day, look at that. It's gonna be a slog sail home for the Sabot. It's gonna be a beat. Home. Nice, long, hard sail home. I'm sure some of the kids aren't super stoked, but it is glorious, right? 14 knots. Pretty much a straight west, like probably 290, 285, 280. First 29ers, I see the red kite up there, practicing. Oh, I see one way out over there. White one, they're all coming down the bay to race down here tomorrow. They're sailing home underneath the Naval Amphibious Base, SEAL Base 1. That's where all SEAL recruits go for their first, a lot of their first training. And then you know it's low tide, right? The tide was ebbing out the bay all day. And you know it's low tide because I don't know if you can see that boat right there, but they are not aground. They are hard aground. There's a 29er coming under the bridge, red kite just up there. But yeah, this is a massive shoal off the Naval Amphibious Base in Coronado. And right on the edge of the channel right now, there's a green buoy right up there by those 29er kites. You need to stay to that side, way over that way. That guy did not. But it's unmarked. That's the one buoy that marks this big shoal. You can't see the bottom right now, but you kind of can. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can see the bottom. Really good place to catch halibut. Yeah, really good. I caught many a halibut right here back in the day. There's the 29ers ripping down. Oh, there's another boat aground way up there. They're on the edge of the shoal. They have their sails up, that one. But you see how they're not moving? They're aground also. This guy is here all night long. Red kite flying down the bay. Oh yeah, I can see the bottom big time. And I'm about 6 feet of water right now. Brother. The skipper's still a Sabot sailing. Go. Another way the kids will notice when they come in, they'll notice the low, 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 low tide. And so tidal current had an effect on today's races. And it wasn't a big thing because you couldn't get out of the current anywhere. But it did affect the ley lines at the weather mark. It affected the strength of the wind because it was against us a little bit, made the wind a little lighter at times. So when we get a big hole and we didn't keep the boat moving, we paid for it. And then that was about it though. Didn't have a huge impact.